Hey, welcome back, guys. This is Zone. We're going to be doing part 2 of the red Titan. This one here is the one that was built in 1988. It's made of a different type of not plastic, but resin. There are several things about it that I need to do. The legs themselves, I'm not sure if this setup's going to work. The legs themselves are very damaged. They're supposed to look like this, okay? It's supposed to have this nice little bulb on the end, then it's supposed to sit nicely inside a little thing, and then you have this little real looking, ball and joint type of thing, from GoBots or whatever was made back in the '88 that they were copying. So, anyways, unfortunately, this one here has broken off square in the middle. Now, this is pretty narrow, and it gets narrower as it goes up from here. You can see that's just about here, and it gets narrower as it goes up. Now, the problem it had, as you can also see here, is there's actually three different pins. There was actually 4. Someone had tried to put 4 pins in the same little surface area as this. Now, you can see my one big pin I have here, but that's going to be different. I'll explain that in a second. And what ended up happening is it ended up destroying each one of those little areas where, like right in here, these little flanges, it was busting those apart. So it basically was deteriorated. It was like erosion had occurred on the leg. So I went ahead and cut it off below that and made it flat. Now I've gone ahead and drilled a hole through one of them, and I wish I hadn't gone through the hole. Originally the holes were smaller, and it was fine. But when I upgraded to this size of hole, so that these things here could fit in there comfortably, it was a little too close to the edge. But I'd already committed to that hole, and as you can see, there's not enough surface space to redo the hole. So it's fine. In reality, it won't make a huge difference. But here's how it basically works. Let me get these toes out of the way. These toes are going to be put back on there eventually too. Okay. Right here is the foot that has the connection to it. So this one here, let me go ahead and pull these off. These here are the little bolts and everything. Save the small one. Alright. You notice, here's my foam. Let's sort of pick this up real quick. Here's my foam. Okay. It's just a thing of pink foam, and I've gone ahead and carved on it with a heating knife. One of those foam knives. It does a real good job of making things look good. Now there's a hole right here, as you can see. And I'm going to put through the back of that, I'm going to put this little bolt. Okay. Now we've got this on the other side, and now that has gone all the way through. I'm going to go ahead and stick this foot through that, because right there you can see this has a hole in it as well. Now that goes through like that. I'm just a little too close for this. Then I drop a washer down here. Oops. Drop a washer and a bolt. So this is basically proof of concept. Now, this here works. That leg will stand in a pretty good area. It does have a problem with spinning and all sorts of stuff like things on axles do. But that will be solved later, and I'll explain that in a second. This one here does exactly the same type of stuff. except there's already a hole here, and it's actually attached because I had to do this at different heights because I had to cut this one basically in half. Decided to make it so you stand on top of a bunch of rocks, and this white expandifoam here is going to be filed and sanded down to look like a hillside, and then I'll put texture over that. This is just filler, but this is pretty soft stuff and it's very impressionable. You can see right here there's actually foot pads where I had the feet on there when I put this on to make sure I wasn't going too high. So I had to use this cork. This cork was about $3 at the store. It's basically a great big stopper. Not for like wine or anything, unless it was like a barrel of wine. Anyways, this stuff will fit on there just like that. And when I get this all sanded down, the extra legs will be just fine. They just don't fit currently. And of course, then I put this on top, and then, you know, drop a washer and a nut down there, and then that will be there. And then you have both of these on there like that. Now, this is how you can ship it, and this is how I will end up shipping it. And then you can actually inset the legs into each one of those, and then that will work. And when I get all this done up, with everything filed and sanded down and textured, I'll paint this. I'm actually going to be painting the bases. This will come out a lot better. But I wanted to show you guys what this stuff looked like prior to me doing it. I guess so it'd be a greater understanding of what's going on. But I also wanted to explain a little bit why I'm using foam. Foam will take some of the impact. Part of the problem that this Titan has is it's got this heavy resin, and it's also got literally bolts and steel inside the frame of the main pieces of the Titan already. So this is actually way heavier than a normal Titan, which is pretty heavy. And now that the leg is the way it is, it would have a hard time remaining together. And the client, my friend, wanted to still have it be accessible. So that's what I'm doing, is I'm making it still accessible. Even though I'm concerned. I think it'll be fine. I don't think we'll have any problems. The feet probably should remain attached to the foam though and shouldn't be taken off. I think this is the smallest this portion should go, particularly when I'm done. What I'm doing to make it so they're not wobbly and to add a lot of structure to this, and the reason why the holes are over gauged for what's going on is I'm going to coat this in that two-part epoxy I talked about in the first video, and then I'm going to put that on. So it's going to be steel or whatever this is, iron. I don't know what kind of material this actually is, but it's going to be that with the two-part epoxy on all sides of it. Then you're going to have this foot, and it's going to go over it, and then you're going to have that attached like that. These holes are oversized, so if I need to turn the foot a little, I can do that, and it still will happen, and still line these holes up for the most part. It gives me a little bit more creative ability by having this flexible like that. But once that two-part epoxy sets, there will be no more moving the feet. The feet will be there, and they won't move. And that's the goal and the plan behind this all. So I'm going to go ahead. It's 5-minute epoxy, so it literally dries within 5 minutes. So what I'll do is I will have the feet attached, the legs attached, and then I'll make the epoxy up, put it all together, and then leave it while it's standing straight up and down inside, leave it put together so that I know that the legs will actually reconnect to the body. And then on the inside of this type of stuff right here, I'm going to go ahead and sand this out and remove the paint, because I think this is too much of a bind. And I might even put some sort of lubricant in there, like a Vaseline or something of that nature, just so that the feet and the legs can go together without having a huge amount of conflict with each other. I don't want there to be stress when you're putting this and taking this apart. So the bottom half from here down is going to be one piece, and from the top half up is going to be one piece. Technically the arms could come apart from each other, but I don't really want to do that either. They're going to be set in this epoxy, I think, and the same thing. And I'll do another video with that when I'm actually demonstrating how I put the epoxy on and seal it all up. I'll do that with the arm piece. Anyways, hope you guys enjoy. Bye.